Welcome back. It's Tuesday and it's time to take you behind the scenes of home building and remodeling with tips, insight, and expert advice to make your project smoother.
Ooh, it's time to ask the contractor. Lucas Stensland, the general contractor and owner of H1 Construction, is back in the house. How you, my brother?
Hey, brothers don't shake hands. Brothers got a hug.
Oh, wow.
Nanny, nanny, boo, boo.
If you were here, I'd be giving you one too.
Okay, now that I got the hug out of the way. Now that you're here, let's jump into today's questions for Ask the Contractor.
Okay. That's right. My question is, actually, it's not my question. It's our viewers' questions. What is an allowance? And why are they always a surprise to homeowners along the way?
Well, allowances technically are information that a contractor hasn't gotten, right? So if you don't pick out a specific window or a specific plumbing package, right, we usually determine it by leaving an allowance. Now, if you're dealing with a good contractor and a reputable contractor, they're going to give you an allowance amount that is digestible, but also realistic. If a client is very knowledgeable and kind of knows what they want at the beginning stages, you can pick out all your stuff at the very beginning. Then it's not a surprise. But what is a surprise is maybe they found it online and they really, really liked it, but then once it's installed,
it's ugly.
They're like, wait a minute. Plus they made these decisions 6 months before or 7 months before the build starts, right?
Right.
Things change. They might not want it at that time. So it's really just a balance. If I had the full puzzle pieces or the Lego kit, and the directions, I can build that house probably 2 months faster than I would is if we're making decisions along the way. But for me, if I'm taking 8 months and spending, over $1 million on a build, I really don't care if it's taking 2 more months. I want to get what I want and make decisions along the way.
Wow, this is interesting. Okay, I've got to ask this one. This one is from Kahea, and she asked how the difference between an allowance and a final selection can impact the budget of a project.
If you're picking out things early, we know the cost, right? And in a client's mind, okay, this is what I'm going to spend. Wherever I don't have the right information, so if you let's say you hired an interior designer, this might save you overall because they're going through and they're picking out all of these different items with you. It's not your general contractor's job to pick out all your finishes. It's not your architect's job. It's not your structural engineer's job. So then it becomes a necessity for people to figure out so we can get this thing built. Now it's the general contractor talking with the architect and this is a full team that we're talking about anyway, but we're making these decisions as a team versus somebody else who is invited to that team but is an overall added cost, usually like 3 to 4% of the entire project. Now these guys pick out everything at the beginning, so they go out and they pick out their fixtures and they go online and they're part of that process. I can tell you, if I'm picking out paint colors and my fixtures, my house would be so out of whack. Like that is not, you don't want me picking out your fixtures, right? So I think it's important personally.
Thanks for your honesty.
Yeah, I think it's really important for people to have an interior designer, but that being said, there's civil engineers, there's mechanical engineers, plumbing engineers, electrical engineers. It's gonna cost a lot more to hire all of these people.
So let's say this, so money has already been set aside and allowed for certain items. At what point along the way does it make sense for that homeowner to start making those selections?
Most people will choose the latter of what we've been talking about, which is to make selections through the process. So we're not overbearing, because if I put 3 fixtures in front of you, you can probably take your time and pick out 3 plumbing fixtures, right? If I put 50 or 60 different items in front of you, it's going to get overwhelming. You're going to like that, right? So we like to do it incrementally as the project goes on. We'll also build a Gantt chart that says, hey, these decisions need to be made at a certain time to keep the project moving accordingly. Now, backing up a little bit is if we make all these decisions, this has happened over 100 times where you pick out something that you really like, and then 6 months later you go to order it, discontinued.
Oh.
8 weeks away, 12 weeks away. So allowance can be a huge impact. And I would say usually on a brand new house, and it depends on what you're allowancing, but it's usually about $150,000 is what we usually set aside for all the allowances. Now what's nice about allowances is if you spend 140, you get 10,000 back at the reconciliation of the project at the end of the project.
Very cool.
And we're always making clients aware of where they're at per item, not every single fixture, right, but per plumbing fixtures, for electrical fixtures,
Right.
for all
The
of
different
these things.
categories.
Different categories.
Got you.
And they're in control of what they're spending. We're not just going out there and spending that portion of it.
That's why we have you on board, Ovia. Thank you so much, Lucas.
Absolutely.
And for my my toilets and stuff, the one with the bidet. Can you
Yeah.
just
Oh,
keep
yeah,
that-
yeah. I got
keep
you.
that
I
in
got you.
All right,
I'll have it run from your phone.
All right. We love all this building and remodeling knowledge that we are acquiring. Don't forget, you can get your questions in so we can get you answers in the next edition of Ask the Contractor. Go ahead and send those questions to h1construction.com/ask.
Mahalo, Lucas, from H1 Construction, the bidet, huh? I've got questions. Oh, wait, but if you've got questions, please send them now so we can get you those answers in next week's segment of Ask the Contractor.